come from many walks of life, different political parties, but they fought together and they bled together. Some died together under the same proud flag. They have not served Red America or Blue America. They have served the United States of America. And that's what this campaign has been about. From calling us to serve the United States of America. It won't be easy. And it won't be quick. Even if we're successful tomorrow, we will be facing bigger challenges than probably any administration since FDR. But you and I know, you can feel in your gut something happening. That it's time to come together. That it's time to look to the future again. At the beginning of this campaign, there were a lot of people who were cynical and a lot of people who were fed up with politics, and they had every right to be. But despite all of that, I asked of you what had been asked of Americans throughout our history. I asked you to believe, not just in my ability to bring about change, but in yours. And you showed me that such change is possible. In this campaign, I've had the privilege to witness what is best in America. In the stories, in the faces of men and women that I've met, in countless rallies, town hall meetings, VFW halls, living rooms, diners, all across America. Men and women shared with me their stories, spoke of their struggles, but they also spoke of their hopes and their dreams. Their love for their children, a sense of obligation and debts to be paid to earlier generations. And I met one of those women in Greenwood, South Carolina. It was back early when we were way back in the polls. Nobody gave us much of a chance back then. I had gone to South Carolina early in the campaign trying to see what I could stir up in the way of endorsements, and I was at a legislative dinner, and I was sitting next to a state rep. I really wanted her endorsement. So I turned to her and said, I really want your endorsement. And she looked at me and she said, I'll tell you what, Obama, I will give you my endorsement if you come to my hometown of Greenwood, South Carolina. And I must have a sip of wine or something that night, because right away I just said, okay, I'm coming. So the next time I come to South Carolina is about a month later. We fly in about midnight. We get to the hotel about 1 o'clock. I'm exhausted. I'm dragging my bags into my room. I get a tap on my shoulder. And I look back as one of my staff people says, Senator, we need to be out of the hotel by 6 a.m. And I say, why is that? He says, because we got to go to Greenwood like you promised. So the next morning, I wake up and I feel terrible. I think I'm coming down with a cold, my back is sore. I feel worse than when I went to bed. I open up the curtains in the hotel room just to hopefully get some sunlight in. Wake me up, but it's pouring down rain. I go outside my room, get the New York Times, open it up. There's a bad story about me in the New York Times. I go downstairs after I pack, and my umbrella blows open, and I get soaked. So by the time I'm in the car, I'm mad, I'm wet, and I'm sleepy. And so we drive, and we drive, and we drive. Turns out that Greenwood is about an hour and a half from everywhere else. Finally, we get to Greenwood. We pull up against, first of all, you don't know you're in Greenwood right away when you get to Greenwood. There aren't a lot of tall buildings in Greenwood. We pull up to a small building, a little field house in the park. We go inside, and lo and behold, after an hour and a half drive, turns out there are 20 people there. 20 people. And they all look kind of damp and kind of sleepy, like maybe they aren't really excited to be there either. But you know, I'm a professional. I've got to do what I've got to do. So I go around, I'm shaking hands, I'm saying, how you doing? What are you doing? As I go around the room, suddenly I hear this voice cry out behind me. Fired up! And I'm shocked. I jump up. I don't know what's going on. But everybody else acts like this is normal. They say, fired up! Then I hear this voice saying, ready to go! And the other 20 people in the room, they act like this happens all the time. They say, ready to go! I don't know what's going on. So I look behind me, and there's this small woman, about 60 years old. She's a little over 5 feet. Looks like she just came from church. She's got a big church hat. And she's standing there, and she looks at me, she's smiling, and she says, fired up! Ready to go! Turns out that she is a city councilwoman from Greenwood who also moonlights as a private detective. I'm not making this up. And it turns out that she is famous for her chant. She does this wherever she goes. She says, fired up, and other people say, fired up, ready to go, ready to go. And so for the next 5 minutes, she proceeds to do this. Fired up, ready to go, ready to go. Everybody says, ready to go. And I'm standing there, and I'm thinking, I'm being outflanked by this woman here. She's stealing my thunder. I look at my staff, they shrug their shoulders, they don't know how long this is going to go. But here's the thing, Virginia. After a minute or so, I'm feeling kind of fired up. I'm feeling like I'm ready to go. So I go into the chant. And it feels good. And for the rest of the day, even after we left Greenwood, even though it was still raining, even though I was still not getting big crowds anywhere, even though we hadn't gotten the endorsement of the people we were hoping for, somehow I felt a little lighter. I felt a little better. I'd see my staff. I'd say, are you fired up? Ready to go? Fired up, boss. Are you ready to go? I'd say, I'm ready to go. Here's my point, Virginia. That's how this thing started. It shows you what one voice can do. One voice can change a room. And if a voice can change a room, it can change a city. And if it can change a city, it can change a state. And if it can change a state, it can change a nation. And if it can change a nation, it can change the world. Virginia, your voice can change the world tomorrow. In 21 hours, if you are willing to endure some rain, if you're willing to drag that person you know who's not going to vote to the polls, if you're willing to organize and volunteer in the office, if you are willing to stand with me, if you're willing to fight with me, I know your voice will matter. So I just got one question for you, Virginia. Are you fired up? Are you ready to go? Fired up? Ready to go? Fired up? Ready to go? Fired up? Ready to go? Virginia, let's